Hey everybody, it's me, Andy, and today we are going to embark on a new adventure as we begin the new game, Firmament. As of today, the day that I'm recording this video, Firmament just got released last week, so it's still pretty new. And I was sent a key for the game by future friends. Future friends always hooking me up with cool games. Thank you guys so much. I'm really excited about this one. So here's a little history lesson for you before we start. Firmament was developed by Cyan, and if you don't know that name, then maybe you're familiar with their most famous game, Myst. Myst came out when I was a kid, and it wasn't a game that I actually owned, so I didn't really get a chance to play around with it much back then. Myst was the game that all of my friends' dads owned. So sometimes I would go over to my friend's house and, we would see it on their computer desk, or, I saw some of their dads play it a couple of times, but we never knew exactly what they were doing. It was mostly just a game that I heard about, a game where you explore a very mysterious world, solving puzzles and looking for clues, which was very different from the other types of games that we played back then. So I had heard a lot about Myst and all of its sequels by the time I got to college. And at that point I had my own PC and my own money, so I decided to finally play those games for myself. I ordered a 3 CD set of Myst, its sequel Riven, and its other sequel, Myst 3 Exile. Played through all 3 of them for the first time. I love those games. I love games where you're dropped into a mysterious world with all sorts of contraptions and machines and puzzles around, and no explanation as to why you're there or what's going on, and you just have to look around and figure it out. And then several years ago, Cyan came back and made Abduction. I actually have a copy of Abduction, and I didn't finish it, but I got pretty far through it. It was the same style of game, and I enjoyed it a lot, so I really do want to go back and finish that. But today, let's jump into Cyan's newest game, see if we can figure out how to get through Firmament. Okay, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get started with Firmament. I've seen a couple of screenshots and, short video clips of this game, so I know it looks pretty nice. I may have to adjust graphic settings when we get in, but we'll see how we do. Let's get started. Don't know much of anything about this game, except that we're going to be exploring some sort of weird place, which is exactly what I want to do. All right, how are we looking?
So, here we are.
Hello?
Finally, your first breath, and I have taken my last. But who cares, right? There's so much to be done. I'm dead, but you have so much to learn. I once woke up just as you have. A blank mind, a clean canvas. Confused, yes, but I will teach you, just as I was taught. And so, first lesson, you are a keeper. I was a keeper. We were all keepers. Second lesson. I will lie to you. I learned much later that this is the way to keep the rounds. And third lesson, this machine is your adjunct, your tool to learn and to keep the rounds. Take it and we will begin. The firmament. It is remarkable that we are here.
All right, so I seem to have woken up from this metal coffin, although the inside is lined quite nicely. And then we have some sort of smoke ghost. I was also a little surprised to see this crest that says Firmament, because I guess I thought that Firmament was, a metaphor or something. and not an actual place, but I guess it's the place. I don't know. All right, so the adjunct. It's actually running pretty good for me. I'm on, I think, medium settings, so it could look even nicer if you have a beefy computer, but this looks pretty good to me. All right, I can't crouch or, like, zoom in my view, so a couple of these things I'd like to look at more closely, but I don't think I can. So here's where we came out of. We have the adjunct, whatever that does. I think we'll use it to interact with things around the world, but we'll learn more about that. Various machines, books and items that don't make any sense. What is this, a cup of tea? Okay. Book. Personal maintenance adjunct. As a newly awakened keeper of the Firmament mission, you've been assigned a personal maintenance adjunct. Miracle of modern mechanics and electronics, augmenting the keeper's abilities in marvelous ways. Your tasks while keeping would normally require keys, tools, and extreme strength to both access and control the various aspects of the realms. The adjunct serves as both a key and a tool and amplifies your abilities. You can access approved areas of the realms, and it can control the equipment and devices, both large and small, that you will use regularly. Okay? Your adjunct is designed to interface with a socket, which gives us control. Sockets are ubiquitous in the realms, and although they may appear physically similar, they provide vastly diverse abilities. Adjunct can be propelled to a socket both close and far. Okay. To operate the adjunct, first place the adjunct gauntlet on your hand. You can then direct and propel the forward element at the desired socket. When it's socketed, you can activate and control the equipment. Specific aspects of the equipment are viewed through a view veil on the gauntlet. Twisting the gauntlet left or right will activate the specific controls available. Some might have other modes, okay? What's that? Oh. Okay. Are any of the keepers alive? Is it just me? Augmentations. Starting adjuncts have only basic abilities, but they can be augmented. The augmentations will be provided in the arch as part of the advancement ceremony. We've got amplified force, distance extension, and concatenated socketing. I don't know how to say that word. Can chain from one socket to another socket. Conclusion. Please respect your assigned adjunct. Use it cautiously. Okay, well, there you go. That's all we know for now. Guess let's go find some sockets. What's going on up here? Why did we awake in this basement? Looks like a socket. Okay. Hold down left mouse button to aim. That's cool. See, and then we can twist it open. Well, that's fun. Nice. Ooh, okay. We can control it from far away like so. Nice. I like it. I like it. I like the feedback. I like the mechanical sounds. Okay. Room, guitar. And open any of this stuff. And you know, in this type of game, you always see lots of things laying around, and then when you have finished it or know what the story is, it's like, oh, everything makes more sense. You know, was someone sitting around here waiting for me to get up? Did this used to be my house? I don't know, but maybe we'll find out later. Okay, we seem to have reached a dead end, although I assume that maybe this will open up. Let's see if it does. Raise. Very cool. Okay, so the entire bunker was raised. Where are we?
It's beautiful, no?
What is that? Who's talking to me?
The majesty and peace of the ice and stone. I didn't emerge from the threshold here as you did.
Wow.
I awoke at this one. My first journey to this realm. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Okay, so that ghost is still following us and can talk to us, I guess. And I don't know if, like, is it a spirit talking to us or is it all recordings? Usually in games like this, you find, recordings of the people who were here before. Um, so maybe they're just set to play automatically. She said this is one of the realms. I think the realms are the different worlds we'll explore. In past Cyan games, you usually start in one place and then you find some sort of portal or something that takes you elsewhere. So that we might be dealing with that here as well. This place is cool though. Mountains look gorgeous. Beautiful backgrounds. The animated clouds and snow back there. Looks great. Okay, so this is the bunker. I'd like to lower it. See what that looks like. That's cool. I was hoping maybe there'd be something up here that we could get, but it doesn't look like it. All right, cool. Well, let's start exploring then. Oh, yeah, and one thing I should mention. This, of course, is a puzzle game. I'm going to try and get through the whole thing by myself if I can, although it's very possible that I will get stuck. Future Friends did provide me with a walkthrough, which I can use if we get just completely stuck. And I will tell you if I need to access it, but I'm hoping that we can do the whole thing without it. But just so you know. All right.
You have small stinging all over. It's normal. And your hearing? Maybe only the alarms. Or your own heartbeat. And these effects will cease in time, as your body becomes accustomed to the heat. We will have these problems when we emerge from the threshold. You will live. And that is a good thing.
I would hope so. I just like looking around in places like this. It looks so cool. I know I should go try and find some puzzles or something. It's just so beautiful.
The adjunct is making sense to you?
Yeah.
If not, no worries. It will soon be as natural as your hand. Keep trying.
Go somewhere different.
And this one-sided prose is strange, is it not? I feel like a performer. But this is where we are.
So, okay, so there's a side path over there.
I had a most wonderful mentor.
Might come in handy.
She taught me of these realms. I will teach you. But then
No?
Turner arrived also. And, well, he first taught me beyond these realms. I will teach you that as well.
Okay, so the bridge would not raise. Let's go over here and see if maybe something's in the way, or if we need to activate something else. And because this giant claw is in the way, can't jump across. There seem to be some weird ice blocks down there. Huh. Yeah, it does seem like that claw's in the way. There's got to be a socket we can move that with, right? Oh, there's a ladder. I missed that. What's up here? Climb. Here we go. This is what I was looking for.
So, this realm is the source of our water. And you will learn what must be done by doing all that we did. And I will help, but I will not hold your hand. It's better to learn by contemplating, failing, hopefully understanding. We thought we understood.
Alright, so now we have controls to raise and lower this claw and move it around. I'm going to move it over there just in case I need it over there. But, of course, no idea yet. I'm just thinking maybe if we walk over that way, we might need the crane. Raise this. There we go. And what about the other side? Kind of thought it would do both of them. There's got to be a socket for the other side. Over there? Yes. Can I reach it? No. Oh, wait. I have an idea. Let's see if this works. Aha! I was thinking maybe we could use the crane to make some sort of bridge, and maybe we can by using ice? Maybe, maybe not. Oh yeah, maybe we can. I don't know if that's in the right spot or not. Is something? I don't know. Let's go check. I use that ice as a bridge? Or maybe we're supposed to take it somewhere else? Clearly, something's got to happen with the ice block, right? Oh, I got it pretty perfect. That's pretty good. There we go. Nailed it. Suck it. Rocks. Okay. Now, raise this bridge and go across there. Then I can use the claw for something else. Up here, probably.
Isn't it breathtaking?
Yeah.
The arches of the firmaments. So inspiring and reassuring. And this path will convey you to this one, where I once lived with my comrades. Go when you like. You can return here.
Okay, let's check out the pod then. Very cool. Okay. Using these sockets. I love the sound and visuals. It's great. The swan. Okay, we can energize, or we can change destination. Okay. Let's go. Oh, I see. Pick our destination and then energize. And here we go. The swan.
You will not be able to witness the wonder of the other realms, but you will transit to the swan first.
Oh, are we teleporting somewhere else? I kind of thought the pod would, move elsewhere in the ice world, but it kind of looks like we're taking it elsewhere. The swan.
Welcome to the swan, where we gathered, talked, sang, learned, eat, laughed, shared. My memories of this place, so vivid, so wonderful, so peaceful, till it was shattered. Lies are controlling, but comforting.
Okay, so obviously we don't know what's going on yet, but it appears that these pods can take us to the different realms, which is cool. This is kind of like a hub where the keepers would come to, rest in between whatever they were doing, whatever work they were doing. This is kind of like this is from the founders. And they're like, oh yeah, come here, have a good time and rest and make sure you're doing a good job as a keeper. I am drawn to this paragraph. Do not concern yourself with fatuous dreams during rest. Dreams are not trustworthy, rational, or measurable. Dreams bring false thoughts from our subconscious that might distract us from our true conscious purpose. This to me seems like the founders were trying to keep something from the keepers, and maybe they would have dreams about some other truth, and so they put up this sign. They're like, hey, whatever you see in your dreams, that's not true. Just listen to what we're saying. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But we'll find out more in due time. I really like this place. I'm sure we'll be here several times. Where does this go? I don't know if I want to skip around to different realms or if we should stick with the first one. Just want to see where this goes. St. Andrew Vaults. Okay. Cool place, though. What if I decorated my basement like this? Firmament. What does it mean? What is this? What is the purpose of all this? St. Andrew Vaults. This one goes to Juleston Reservoir. Okay. Do things in one realm affect the others, or are they all separate? I don't know. Don't know yet. What is this? A hallway.
The only difference between a heresy and the truth is time. I wonder, do you agree?
Lady, I don't really know yet. Okay, so this looks to be maybe like the keeper's rooms, but only one of them is open. We answer, we know, we keep keepers together. Firmament will prevail. Maintain the firmament. Keep. What is this? Keeper's poem. Observe the firmament above. Our waking lights shine bright. Our comrades in the tapestry. A wondrous, restful sight. The lights, the lights, the lights of wake, alive above our head. The dark, the dark, the dark of sleep. Deep sleep we do not dread. The vault is ours to contemplate, a canvas of our lights, an ever-coruscating web, the hallmark of our nights. Oh, this is a long poem. Threshold clears our minds. I'm just skimming here. Realms promise to keep. Pledge our waking hours. Okay. Realms are adored. Sleep to be restored. Someday the realms shall be fulfilled, arrivers shall draw nigh, they shall awaken the embrace, our destiny supply. In other realms that we cannot reach, there were other keepers who lived and worked together in happiness and harmony. The keepers contributed to the firmament mission and to the common good, and they shared happily the fruits of their labor. One day a keeper awoke from the deep sleep with a new idea, a troublesome idea. This troublesome keeper decided there could be a different way of doing things, a way he called more. This troublesome keeper tried to convince the other keepers that they could work for their own benefit, rather than for the good of all. This troublesome keeper said that all could accumulate more, and having more could make them happier. Okay. Is this like a workers' rights thing? Maybe. At first, the keepers were skeptical, like all keepers before they lived with reason and measurement, and they knew such a way of more seemed against reason and measurement. They asked where more would come from and how long it could continue. The troublesome keeper provided ridiculous answers, claiming that more could come from everywhere and would last forever. They laughed, ha ha ha, but the troublesome keeper persisted. The persistence of the troublesome keeper wore down their thoughts of reason and measurement, and they became tempted by the promise of more. Gradually, they embraced the idea of more. Their focus changed from keeping the realm to collecting more. This seemed to make them happy at first. As time went on, they became consumed by more, and the realms began to suffer. The machinery began to break, the crops began to die, the animals became ill, water became tainted, air became putrid. And the keepers also began to suffer. Some were sick, some were hale, some were hungry, some were fat, some were thirsty, some were bathed, and some had none, and some had more. And those who had more began to look down on those who had less or none. Okay. Wise keeper remembered the faithful ways of keeping. Way more, basically. Keepers of the realm were able to overcome the forces of more and return to the faithful ways of keeping. And all of the keepers once again lived and worked together in happiness and harmony. Okay, so what are they trying to say here? I'm sensing... What am I sensing? There could be something here about, all the keepers who worked here, whoever is in charge of them or the founders was like, oh, keep the realms, at this steady state. Everyone has exactly the same. So, no one has more or less, which, sounds fine. Nothing wrong with that. But it could definitely turn into a thing where the founders maybe are, profiting, benefiting from keeping things this way. And so they're like, everyone just be happy with what you have. Everyone has the same, except us. But, there's nothing you can do about that. It could be something like that. Because that story seems like a like an anti-socialist story where they're like, how dare you want more? Some people will have less. This is bad. Everyone should have the same. And then making it sound like, oh, what a terrible thing. But I don't know, we don't know yet. Don't have enough context.
This is the threshold.
This is?
Where we cross from wake to sleep, from sleep to wake. I put them all to sleep. It was very difficult.
Also, they keep talking about sleeping in the deep sleep, and I don't know, does that mean death? Just hibernation? This is called the Keeper's Wake, which makes it sound like a funeral thing. Did she put the other keepers in here and they died? Or like threw their dead bodies in there? What's on this other side? What is this?
Time heals all wounds.
For sleep.
I recently learned of that saying. Seems like a tonalization when the wounds of the seed are so fresh. I recently learned of that word. But indeed, time in the threshold heals all wounds. What mixed emotions I have about that.
For sleep on one side. The other side, Keeper's Wake. This big gaping hole. And all the names written above here. Be interesting. But is this the firmament? Or this is the threshold? Between waking and sleeping? Like time heals all wounds, everyone comes here to be refreshed. But is it brainwashing people? I don't know. There's paint around here, like people were painting. Add paint. I have no one to share my agony with, and so I write. Words, how many have I learned, and even with such new ways to describe my feelings, I do not have any of these words left to express my sadness, my anger, my... How did it all come to pass? The truth, unbearable, the void, so boundless, so cold, so dark. I am struggling, grasping for understanding, comprehension. Turner, A dark power, a monster, even he, only a tool in such a dark objective and plan. How could such darkness be handed such power? Right? We've heard about Turner now a couple of times. Doesn't seem like a good guy. Seek it? Did it seek him? Does it always seek such servants? Was I servant myself? Am I like him? We were all the keepers. Of what? We were naive souls, nourished by lies. And then, by his own dark power, how could he? How could I? I saved them, I lost them. I was compelled, but what now? What of me, trapped, solitary? The burden of knowledge and deception steals my joy and my breath. My heart hurts inside of my chest. An emptiness of time stretches out before me, and there is only me left to fill this time. The loneliness. How does a human live with it? The truth, the lies, the confusion, how does a human know? I am adrift, floating to nowhere in my own agony. Is there hope? Will this plan save us? Can I save myself? I wish to rid myself of such beautiful deceit, but I wonder if such a desire is even possible. Okay, interesting. I wonder, this could be, and this is just a guess, was this written by the woman we've been hearing from? Did the founders in the Firmament here kind of suppress everyone's thoughts and feelings so that they would just do the keeping? And then someone revealed the truth to them and they all started to wake up like the giver, you know? And that's why she's like, I can do art now. We didn't know how to do art, and I have feelings now. And something happened. Turner was there. He was a bad guy. And it ended up with her maybe throwing everybody into the death hole. I don't know. And she's like, now I have feelings. I miss everybody, and I, I'm glad that I know, but everything sucks now, and I didn't realize before. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. I could be way off. Don't know, but that's a pretty good exploration of this place. It's probably about time for us to take a break, which I'm sad about because I want to keep exploring. But yeah, let's take a break here. Next time we'll head back to the ice world and look around there and see if there's anything else we can do. But yeah, from what we've seen so far, let me know your thoughts. I'm excited to get back to this. Well, I'll see you next time.